Welcome back to Between the Lines. My name is Mason, and look, in this series, we're going through each division. We're giving you the win totals. We're giving you our pick to win the division, and today we're talking about the AFC North. And if you missed the last video where we went over the AFC South, make sure you go check that out. And look, once again, we're going to be bringing on Ralph, my buddy over there at MyBookie, to give us some insight as we talk about the AFC North. Very exciting division. So without further ado, let's get into it. Ralph, how's it going? Thanks for coming on once again.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this division because it might shock you on who's my division winner, and it could also shock me who I'm not sold on this year.
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited to hear it. Let's start off with the Baltimore Ravens, the team with the highest win total in the division at 11 and a half. Ralph, tell me what you think about the Ravens this year. Is this the team you're not sold on this year?
Oh, yes, King Henry's still in the backfield, but what's King Henry? 60? I mean, you don't get younger every season. You do get older, and it's the quarterback issue. Extend him, sign a contract or nothing. Because the thing is going to be the biggest question: is you want to stay? Get a get someone to represent you besides your mom and yourself. The contract issue could be, I think, a burden for Lamar Jackson. And can he stay healthy? I mean, there's another thing. I mean, their health on offense has been one of the biggest issues. Yes, they always have a great defense. Flowers at wide receivers, a really good stud, but I'm just not sold. You're trying to tell me they're going to go 12-5? I just don't see it. I don't even see them winning the division. I'm not sold on Baltimore. There's a reason why the under's at minus 141. It's not because we want you to play all that heavy juice on the under. Money is coming in on the under.
Yeah, they're trying to suck you in on the over at plus money. Is that what you're thinking, Ralph?
I don't think we're trying to get. I mean, yes, of course, we're trying to get over money because we're heavy on Baltimore under. But I just think that it's a safe bet for us saying, okay, die hard. No one's going to say, oh, Ravens are going to go 12, 13, 14 wins, 14-3. Give me the division and the conference and the Super Bowl. We're not seeing that come in, but we are seeing under money come in.
So you're on the under 11 and a half.
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm taking the over 11 and a half, which means that I'm going to take them to win the division, and I'll talk about that when we get to that. But look, I'm actually a little skeptical of this Ravens offense this year. Like you said, King Henry's aging. They lost Isaiah Likely, and they didn't really go out and get another weapon. And I've always been very skeptical of Zay Flowers. Look, he got paid crazy money. I don't think he's worth that money. I don't think he's a true wide receiver one, in fact. Okay? I mean, he only has, I believe, 14 touchdowns in 3 seasons in the NFL. So I don't think he's a true wide receiver one. I think that's always been an issue here. Their defense last year and their pass rush was the biggest problem. And they went out and they got Trey Hendrickson. Okay? Is he going to solve all the issues? I'm not sure. But they also went out and they got Jesse Minter, a great, and they hired him as their head coach. Was a great DC. I'm excited to watch this defense this year because on the back end, they have a ton of weapons. They got Marlon Humphrey. They got Kyle Hamilton. Okay? One of the best safeties in football. Shout out Notre Dame. Go Irish. So, look, I think this defense is going to win them a lot of games this season. I'm excited to watch this defense. Like I said, their offense would do this, their thing, as long as Lamar Jackson's at quarterback. In terms of the contract situation, look, I think we can both agree he's not leaving Baltimore. Right, Raphael?
I don't know. I just don't. I mean, how many championships does he have in Baltimore?
That's a good point. That's a good. How many
How
champions?
many true number one receivers has he had
I know.
in
That's the
Baltimore?
problem. That's the problem. They never go out and they never get another weapon for him, which has always been an issue. But look, I'm taking the over 11 and a half here. I think they finish with 12 and they win this division. But look, let's move on to the team that you think is going to win the division this year. The Bengals, Raphael. First, I'm going to tell you something about the Bengals here.
Their
That
defense sucks,
defense,
right?
their defense still sucks. Okay, and they lost Trey Hendrickson and they replaced him with Dexter Lawrence. Okay, what now? That secondary's still terrible. I expect the same thing from this offense as they ball out every single year. Burrow, Jamar Chase, same thing. Okay, they're gonna finish 9-7 this year. Okay, I mean They didn't improve their defense. Al Golden's still their defensive coordinator, who I believe is a good defensive coordinator, but they just didn't make many changes. What's going to change? They were the worst defense in football last year. Give me the under 9.5. Tell me why you think this team is going to go over and win the division.
What did people talk at the end of the season last year? Oh, Joe Burrow can maybe have an MVP candidate. Come back for all the great stuff. They can make the playoffs. They almost made the playoffs last year, and he missed so many games. I'm not saying the Bengals are going to win the division because of the great defense that they have. No. But if Trevor Lawrence, I almost said Trevor Lawrence, if Joe Burrow can have what he did towards the end of the season and stay healthy and stay upright, then this offense is going to put up some big numbers, and I think they squeak out victories against the Baltimore Ravens that they have to play twice, Pittsburgh Steelers that they have to play twice, Cleveland Browns. I wish everyone had to pay not just twice, but maybe 4 times a year. But I just think the Bengals. I think they go 10. I would not be shocked whoever wins this division only has 10 wins, 10 wins or less. I think that the division could be very tight this year. I don't see 12-5 team coming out of this division.
I could see a world where it's like that. I mean, look, I think the Bengals could get 10 wins if their defense is just somewhat decent. But if they're as bad as they are last year, they're not getting 10 wins. I think you can agree with that too. They were
Yeah.
bad. They were bad. Let's go on to oh my gosh, this team, man, the Cleveland Browns. This is an obvious under for me. No team with a quarterback with their quarterbacks room being Deshaun Watson and Shador Sanders is getting 6 wins. I'm sorry, I don't care who starts. Okay, the Browns aren't getting 6 wins. They're probably grabbing 3 or 4. I looked at their schedule too. They have a tough schedule. Okay, they go out and they lose Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in football. They didn't really add much to this defense. How is this number even at 5.5? I mean, they're going under here. This was an easy under for me. I didn't really need to look at the schedule, and I was like, yeah, under 5.5.
It's 5.5, and the juice is towards the over. So the betting public is telling you they think they can win 6 wins, 6 or more, which I don't see. I'm like you. I
What's the
looked at their
line? What's
schedule.
the line? What's the line?
It's 5.5 over -126, and the under is at -101.
What?
And I mean, there's some prediction markets that have even money on the under. So yeah, I agree with you. And you disrespected Dylan Gilbert. You are Gabriel. You didn't even mention his name. So you disrespected him. You said everyone else in the quarterback room except him. So he's on line. He's on line one. You can answer that why I continue to bash this Cleveland Browns team. I don't see it. They're going to have 4, maybe 5 wins. They went 5-12 last year. It wouldn't shock me if they do the same 5-12 because I think they want them. I think the ownership and the fans want to be bad because their quarterback class coming out next year is stacked, and it's much better than what they have in the quarterback meeting rooms right now. So I think probably the organization and probably some of the fans like, hey, I hope we're bad because the quarterbacks that we can maybe get next year, it's very impressive.
That's a fair point. I feel like they were 5-12, and they actually played some close games because when they played at home, their defense would keep them in every single game. But now they lose Myles Garrett, obviously the best defensive player in football. I don't know if that's going to be the case again this year. Let's talk about the Steelers. Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you couldn't write a better script here. Rodgers retiring after this year. What do you expect from Rodgers and McCarthy this year, Raphael?
They won 10 games last year with pretty much the same roster. The division is the same. Nothing really improved. You can say all 4 teams in this division really didn't improve. They didn't get that star quarterback, that star defensive guy, that star running back, that star wide receiver. Neither of these 4 teams did. And all the Pittsburgh Steelers do is win 500 or more every year. Every
Under
year
Mike
seems like.
Tomlin.
I know. But I'm saying it's the same team. It is.
Yeah,
They didn't lose much. They didn't gain much. It's the same team, pretty much.
I agree.
I'm gonna
So
take. I'm gonna take the over until the Pittsburgh Steelers, not Mike Tomlin. The Pittsburgh Steelers tell me, hey, we're gonna go 8-9, or back-to-back seasons 8 or 9 or 7-10. I'm gonna ride the 500 or more percentage again. I wrote it last year, sweated right from the start. Then they went in that big run, and everyone's like, "Oh, maybe Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is back." I'm gonna roll the dice myself. Roll the dice on a winning record because they've done it so many years, and I have bet it so many years. So
You're
if
right.
I lose, it's just nothing.
They've done it so many years under Mike Tomlin. I'm not a big fan of Mike McCarthy. I'm sorry. I mean, I get it. Like you're reuniting Rodgers, McCarthy, fairy tale ending. You know what I'm saying? You bring in Michael Pittman, which is actually a great addition for this offense. But you're right. They have pretty much the same team. They got some even more veteran additions on that defense. I'm still going under. You're right. I can't believe this team finished with 10 wins last year. That's pretty mind boggling to me. I'm going under 8.5 because, like I said, I have the Ravens winning this division going over, which means they're probably going to beat Ravens are going to beat the Steelers twice. So look, I like under 8.5 here. Wouldn't be surprised if this is somehow a wild card team, but they're not winning the division. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this team made the wild card.
Again,
What are you saying?
the wild card game again.
Yeah, once again, Steelers in the wild card. All right, Ralph. Who's the best bet to win the division?
I'm going with the Bengals at plus 189. And it's not because they're the best team. Maybe on offense, they're the best team in the division, not even close to the best team in defense. But I just think with Joe Burrow, if he stays healthy, if he stays upright, give me the Bengals. And I'm gonna say right here, this might be Lamar Jackson's last season in purple. If you're Lamar Jackson, you're representing yourself, they're not giving you any weapons on offense, and you play to win championships. So then why don't you go somewhere else and try to win a championship?
Man, I think it's a fair point. I mean, they haven't really given him much help. But
If
again,
he
like
wanted to stay there,
Josh Allen hasn't
he
won
would
a
be
championship.
talking. If he wanted to stay there, something would have been leaked out by now. He wants X, Y, and Z. They're negotiating. He wants to be a Raven for life. I mean, yeah, he says it, but we don't hear it from his camp, his boys, nothing like that. It's so stagnant. I mean, at least in Tampa Bay with Baker and all that, we're hearing both sides. We're hearing Baker talk. We're hearing all his boys talk. How they disrespected him. It's been crickets over in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. So that just tells me maybe he's got that maybe a half a toe out, thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll win a championship someone else, like Sam Donald did in Seattle. He won a championship.
It's a fair point. We'll be curious to see for sure. I'm taking the Ravens to win the division this year. I mean, I really love the new head coach and Jesse Minter. I think they needed a change to get rid of John
Yeah,
Harbaugh.
I do. I agree.
You know, they needed a change. You're bringing Jesse Minter, who's going to make this defense better. This defense was not good last year. Last year was the ultimate reason why they didn't go far was this defense. Like I said, they had a bottom three pass rush in all of football last year. So now you bring in Trey Hendrickson, who's one of the best pass rushers all of football. I think this defense could make noise this year. Like I said, I don't like the loss of Isaiah Likely, but I mean Lamar Jackson's Lamar Jackson, and he's gonna win them football games. So give me the Ravens to win this division. I think they're the best team in this division by far, all around on both sides of the ball. So give me the Ravens to win the AFC North. And that's a wrap on the AFC North. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you stay tuned for next video where we talk about the AFC East. We'll see you then.